Hello! Welcome, everyone. It is so nice to be here. I know that we're probably all missing the Monday live videos, but it is super awesome to be back. And it's so funny because I feel like one of those, published authors. I've got my book in the background, even though it's not my legit book, and it's still got that line through it. Just, promoting it subconsciously. Today we've got lots of amazing questions. Before we get started, I do want to remind especially the members that that the members only coaching call is going to be April 9th. And I should probably just make sure that's in my calendar. I know it's on Zoom and it's ready to go. Sorry about the crinkling. Coaching call. I'm just like in the middle of so many things right now with the book launch that I have to write everything down, and then I'm going to also post it. I'll post the Zoom link to the coaching call probably today or tomorrow. So keep that in mind. The ebook is officially launched. You can grab the ebook off of Kindle on Amazon. If you have bought the Kindle Amazon ebook, please review me. That really, really helps. That would be amazing. And then I also have the book bundle available as well. And that is off of my website under my School of Awakening. So you'll see that there. And I don't think we have any moderators, but let's see if I can actually post from here. I just posted my Linktree link, and you'll see my School of Awakening. No, you'll see my book bundle actually right at the top of that link. So keep that in mind. The actual printed book will be out April 1st. It's still in review, so I'm kind of sweating over here, hoping that, Kindle and Amazon will accept it. And what else? Just be aware that if you did buy the book bundle, we're still working on the Oracle card deck, but hopefully in about a week from now, or even a couple of days, you'll be able to pull as many cards as you want digitally online from the Oracle card deck in the book bundle, so keep that in mind. And we are going to be selling the meditations and the homework together as a package separately if you want to buy the physical book or the ebook. So just keep that in mind as well. Just so many things, I know. If you did get the book bundle, check out the community section within my online school platform. It's really awesome. You can connect to like-minded individuals, very similar to connecting with the members here and on Discord. And one more kind of just thing I want to release. I've got Lily Rose malas. They are species malas that are being released. We also have New Earth bracelets. I've got them right here, actually. I did a video. I have to post the video still. They are so powerful and so pretty. I'm going to actually wear them. And we also have t-shirts being released as well. And the t-shirts are going to actually have, you're not dying on the front, and it says you're just waking up on the back. And every t-shirt sold also comes with bookmarks. So that's going to be really awesome. Watch out for that, April 1st. And then finally, last but not least, and then we'll dive into the questions, we are having a Galactic Federation Summit this month as well, and that is going to be on April 11th as per usual, so that'll be really good. And if you haven't already, please do sign up for the text message alerts so that you get alerted when I do come on a live video or when I do just, do a random video or what have you on YouTube. You will get alerted. All right. First question here, we've got tons of great questions from all of the members, so thank you. And thank you so much, Alicia, and thank you so much, Starseed Kate. It was such a joy chatting with you guys before this video. Thank you for the super chats. So moving right along to Daniela Matos. Hi EA, third time's a charm. Can you tap into what is happening in Brazil? Why is the COVID crisis at its peak in Brazil right now? Are they trying to rescue children? Is there an underground battle? Does this have anything to do with the predictions of Chico Xavier, a well-known medium in Brazil who said that decades ago that we will become a welcome hub for the entire humanity in the age of Aquarius? Amazing. And I'm really glad that you actually added that in there, Daniela, right at the end with Chico Xavier. I don't know who he is, but there was something that sparked right when you were mentioning that Brazil was supposed to become a welcome hub for the entire humanity in the age of Aquarius. And I got a flash when I read that question initially. I'm just going to tap into it. I'm just going to see what else is going on here and what else, the planet, the universe, the Galactic Federation can tell us about Brazil and what's going on at this time. Exactly. Yeah, so interesting. Okay, so I'm not getting the whole picture, but I'm definitely getting a part of it. And it's kind of a microcosm of what's happening all around the planet at this time. So a couple of really interesting things. One, the first thing that came to me was a lot of ancient knowledge and wisdom is kind of like coming back out or being rebirthed at this time, especially from like elders, like ancient wisdom holders and elders and indigenous people and tribes. So I initially witnessed that back in November with my dad when we traveled around, Western America or even Middle America to kind of take a look and navigate through all of those very sacred sites and lands and understand that this indigenous information is getting released within North America, and now it's clearly getting released, as I saw in Brazil, all over the planet. All over the planet, indigenous people, like I said, elders and wisdom keepers, and even crystals, which would be wisdom keepers, are all opening up and releasing their information. So that's pretty cool. I saw that in Brazil very clearly. And then there was a second thing that's happening in Brazil. I didn't really see like a huge battle happening or something that's detrimental, but I felt like a buildup of something. And I'm sure that with the restrictions, there is a suppression of that as well. And basically what I saw was that Brazil and potentially other places in South America is it almost feels like a juncture is the word that I want to use between worlds. And it feels like if there is going to be a release or an opening of inner earth civilizations or a merging between inner earth and above ground earth civilizations, it's going to be started in Brazil or it's going to be in South America. It really feels like. So there is a significance there. I'm sure there's suppression, and I'm sure that there's a knowledge of this about to happen, some sort of connection there, and that's probably why there's been more restrictions. But I didn't pick up too much on that, but I also didn't sit there for long enough to pick up on that. But definitely, it's almost like, I don't know, like it's the vision that I got was like a cave that connects to inner earth, and these wisdom keepers or these indigenous beings or people, I guess, have been keeping it a secret, and now it's the time to open that up or divulge it or connect it. So yeah, maybe we'll keep our eyes out for Brazil moving forward. Another kind of culture question here from Fatima Amira. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And you're a new member, so welcome to the membership. Hey, I've been so curious about the role that Black people and specifically Black Americans play in this evolution. Our journey in the Americas is so specific and so integral to the development of civil rights and human rights over time. It seems to me that even now, movements like BLM, Black Lives Matter, are playing a critical role in dismantling some of these control systems. Perfect. This is something that I've never really spoken about, so I think this is a great time to tap into it. I don't have any knowledge about that because I'm not a part of it, so I will just admit right away I don't know. But let me tap in. Like, I think it's important for us to kind of take a look at the spiritual significance behind the Black Lives Matter movement itself, but I think more so just the role that Africans coming to this, North America have to play, because it has been very significant, and there has been a lot of torture and trauma, along with it. And I've talked a lot about the Indigenous, because that's near and dear to my heart. So let's take a look at the other group that has been really, brutalized. So 1 second. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know how this is going to be taken. I'm just going to say it. Okay. Just keep an open mind. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on if this is good or bad. This is brand new information to me because I've never really tapped into this. So this is so fascinating. So at first, I just kind of opened it up, said, what's the significance there? I was drawn to basically the Black slave movement back in the day. I guess it was late 1700s, early 1800s. I'm not sure what the timelines, maybe late 1800s. I don't know what the timelines are there, around there. And I just saw all these ships. I don't know if you guys know much about the history, but I mean, just the conditions on these ships, the majority of these slaves, because that's what they were, from Africa, died on the way over. But what I saw, what was really significant there was the dissemination of Africans all around the world, because it wasn't just here in America that they were taken for slaves. And then I was brought to another image, which was the dissemination of Atlanteans all around the world. And I'm like, what? I mean, clearly these two things didn't happen at the same time. So why is this being linked? And it was always contracted for Atlanteans and Lemurians to be disseminated before the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria, and basically the, the ice age that happened at that time, the Great Flood, whatever you want to call it. And it's very similar. Like, there was a very divine purpose around Africans being disseminated all around the world. And so I dug into this a little bit deeper. This is wild, but it resonates so deeply. Humans, okay, let's call them humans in Africa, were one of the first creations from the Anunnaki. There were many different generations of creation from the Anunnaki, and they were, just a reminder, they were here to specifically mine gold. Now, this is not unique on this planet. The Anunnaki have exploited resources from many different planets all over the universe, and in order to exploit the resources, because they don't want to do all the work, they basically build a species and a civilization to exploit the resources. They've done this many, many times all over the place, basically to save their own species. Now, because the Anunnaki have done this, they have gotten the title of creator. They are creator species. This is what they do. They create other species. But they have zero. They usually take no responsibility for the species that they create, which is pretty wild. And so, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they tried to create different species in other places around the world on this planet. But they basically ended up creating, like, the first humanoids that they created were of African lineage. And they created African humans, I don't know what else to call them, to be extremely strong, extremely resilient, extremely fast, just basically physically well equipped, right? To be a slave. Like, how crazy is it that slavery has been literally ingrained within the DNA of that culture, of that race? And so here's the craziest thing. Our society here in America, in North America, but also all over the world, has had this image or limiting approach, I guess, to African Americans, or just, I don't know, people from Africa, or this view of them for whatever reason, right? It's like ingrained within our worldly culture. And I mean, even if you take a look at the marginalization and what they get paid here compared to like a white man, it's disgusting. Like, I can't believe that we are in a first world country, land of freedom, and it's still so imbalanced. Same thing with women here. It's crazy. It blows my mind. I'm so happy I'm not American. Anyway, and so here's the huge thing. Africans have this very divine connection to a lot of ancient knowledge and wisdom, because although they were created to be slaves, which is really effed up and even just saying, they were also given a lot of ancient knowledge and wisdom and a lot of embedded traits that I guess other cultures, civilizations, races on this planet just don't have. They don't have. Now, what's really empowering about this is the second that, I guess, like, I don't know what to call them, black people or Africans, the second that they find their freedom, the second that they're recognized, like, I mean, I think having a black president was pretty awesome, and having a black woman vice president, whatever your beliefs are, I don't follow politics, I'm just saying in general, I think that that's pretty incredible. The second that there's a freedom there within the limitation and confine of our structure and society at a worldwide level, not just here in North America and not just on the continent of Africa and not just in South America, all over the world, if we can find that empowerment and we can come to that equality, and I know we have a long way to go, and we have a lot of other minorities and a lot of other inequalities happening on this planet, but that's a huge key piece, right? To really give the power back to the original slaves of this planet, and for them to be empowered, they then feel safe enough to release the knowledge and the wisdom that they have. And this reminds me so much so of the indigenous people and the tribes all over the world. It was the biggest genocide in world history on North America. 55 million indigenous died, and they had that knowledge and wisdom. The second that, and we're not there yet, we're getting there, but we're really a far way away. The second that we have equality for everyone is the second that we all feel safe enough intrinsically to get to higher vibrational frequency levels to release the knowledge, wisdom, and activate the DNA strands that we have. So what do we all need to be safe? The basics. We need access to food. We need access to water. We need access to shelter. I mean, those are the bare necessities of safety. But then the next step is we need to feel seen and heard and equal within the society that we're in. And right now we don't have that. We don't have that for the majority of minorities. I will say that I love Toronto. I mean, it's a big city and it's a lot of energy, but I love Toronto because white people, okay, are the minorities there. Toronto is truly this hub of multiculturalism. And no matter who you are, no matter what race you have, no matter what language you speak or what clothing you wear, you're going to be accepted. That's my experience. I'm not a minority, so I can't say that, all right? But I love Toronto for that reason. There's multiculturalism here in LA, but I mean, it's not even close. And there still is so much discrimination. So we've got a long way to go, but yeah, super, super fascinating. Thank you, Fatima, so much for asking that question. I've never really checked into it before. So I think that that's really fascinating. And I hope that gives all of us just a broader perspective and view on how we need to really make other people feel safe, no matter what it is, especially the ones who are resisting and fighting and are full of egos, no matter what race or color or language or culture, those are the ones who are in pain, the ones who fight back, those are the ones who need most of our love, right? So that's really important. And of course, we can't help other people feel safe until we feel safe first. All right, let's move on to Spiritually Selfish. Love that name. Brand new members, so welcome to the membership. We are all waiting for alien disclosure. What will happen after it? Are we all going to live on Earth all together? Are they going to come down and help us co-create the new Earth? What is the vision of different species around humans? Yeah, I feel like that was trying to say something else, but ultimately, what's going to happen after disclosure? So I channeled this 10 years ago when I initially connected with the Galactic Federation. And one of my first questions was, how is disclosure going to take place? What is going to happen? What does that look like? And they told me, it was actually Khan who told me. He told me it was 30, 40, and 50 years. He said 30 years from now, the hybrid beings are going to start to integrate into society. 40 years from now, we're actually going to be seeing them on the street, and 50 years from now, everyone's going to know about them. They're going to be fully integrated, and we're going to have this beautiful dynamic. That was 10 years ago now, which is crazy. So I'm thinking we're still on track for about 20 years from now. They're going to be here on the planet. Not that they aren't already, because there are aliens on the planet. They're going to be here on the planet, walking around, talking with us, and maybe they're cloaked, maybe they're disguised. I think we already have that, but it was a 30, 40, 50-year plan, basically, that they had from 2010 when I initially tapped in. So I think we're still very much so on track with that. I see a world where, just like we have multiculturalism, we're going to have multi-speciesism. I don't see a crazy amount of other species with human beings. Mostly what I see is the hybrid species, the Essassani, which are half human, half gray. And the beautiful thing about them is they do look very similar to us. It's like we would be looking at a human saying, that's an odd looking human, but we would still classify them as a human. And so that's really what I see moving forward into the future. And I think it's going to be a really beautiful connection. And I think right now a lot of species, including the Galactic Federation, are really apprehensive of having a disclosure or coming down in full force because humans just are in such a low vibrational place. We can't accept that yet. We're not there yet. Okay, let's go to another question here. Melissa, hey everyone, is anyone experiencing past memories flooding into your mind? Detailed memories from this timeline, even of childhood, but even a couple months ago. Before it was dreams and now it's memories. Why is that? So yeah, I want to ask you guys, have you guys had memories coming back? So I told you guys maybe a month ago, a couple weeks ago, that we're all looping into old, like I was having crazy flashbacks of dreams that I had as a child. Like it was so wild. And maybe even dreams that I had a couple years ago. So weird. And then also at the same time having really intense, vivid flashbacks of memories from this lifetime as well. And I noticed that. So what I call this is energetic looping or memory looping. So we loop ourselves into past timelines in order to complete those timelines in the present moment. Now, the unfortunate part is a lot of the memories that we loop into are, how do I say, they're just insignificant. They feel completely insignificant memories. But it's something about that time in your life that you're being drawn back to complete. So ask yourself, who was I back then? You know, what was I experiencing? What were my greatest challenges and struggles? And how does that mirror or reflect the position that I'm in right now at this time? And that's going to really help. But it's been really intense, these memory and energetic looping of the past to complete the present moment so that we can all move forward free and clear of any sort of energetic baggage. All right, moving on to Erica. Hi, EA. Do you know anything about quantum healing codes or Grabovoi? I'm so freaking bad. Codes. I could swear this one is still quite unheard of. They are number codes that we can use for almost anything, from physical diseases, energetic healing, soul contracts, and much more. I even found one for activating the New Earth portal. I mean, what if thousands of us all used it at the same time? It's like real cheat codes for life. Reminds me of The Sims. It's really something I'm digging deeper into. Awesome. So someone did bring this up to me quite recently, maybe a couple months ago, and they basically told me that every word has a numerical code to it. I think this is the same thing, but I'm not sure. So, for example, the word heal or healing or healed would have the numerical code 45932 or something like that. And by repeating the digits 43592 over and over and over again, it actually creates healing in your body, which is really amazing. And when I first heard about this, it instantly resonated with me. And the reason why it instantly resonated with me, because everything holds a frequency to it. Every color, every sound, every letter, every number holds a frequency to it. It's kind of like playing a piano. Playing one note on its own only gets you so far, but you combine the notes together, not that I'm a musician, you combine the notes together and it creates a melody, right? It's the exact same concept with numbers. Every number absolutely holds a vibrational frequency, so it would only make sense that combining different numbers together creates a vibration of the intention that you want to hold, which is healing or what have you. I'm guessing that whoever channeled these codes was clearly directly connected to the vibration of numbers and was able to channel what each word and the numerical code that went along with it, right? I'm assuming that it was a channeled thing. What I would call this is frequency hacking. So if you haven't already looked into quantum healing codes, I recommend you look into it. I just heard it from a third party, and that's just my perspective or opinion on it. But I do believe that absolutely it's legit. It's got to be. Hopefully it's coming from a legit source, but any number holds frequency, any light holds frequency, any color holds frequency. So you can think about a color like pink and feel healed from that pink energy, right? You just need to know what the association is, right? Like what the numerical code for strength is, and then follow through with that. Very cool though, very cool. All right. Nida Jankovic. Hi EA, how to clear trauma that we don't remember but has left an energetic scar in us. I know that our intention is everything, still after a lot of healing work and Reiki, etc., I feel like there's another layer that is out for our reach that maybe you have some life hack around it. Okay, perfect. So the majority of what we heal, we cannot comprehend or we do not see, right? We're healing deep layers. And it's funny because sometimes physical pain or physical injuries are easier to heal because it's a process that we can actually observe. Vibrational healing, energetic healing, emotional healing is much more difficult to navigate because we don't necessarily see the changes in the same way and the growth in the same way. So here's what I recommend. It really truly is just all about intention. How do you heal something that you cannot see? How do you heal deeper layers that you have no idea, why they're there or what's happening? Essentially, it's about intention. So setting your intention and making clear statements. I am ready to heal the layers around me that I cannot see or perceive. I am ready to clear what no longer serves me. Or I am ready for the next step in my evolution. Say, for example, you're wanting more abundance in your life. I am ready and willing to accept more abundance in my life. But if you have a ton of blocks preventing you from fully accessing that abundance, that affirmation is just going to go by the wayside. Instead, you should ask for, I am ready to heal any blocks that I have or still have around abundance. And then all of a sudden, you find a $10 bill on the ground, or maybe you lose a $100 bill from your wallet or whatever. But there's going to be a challenge that is associated with your statement. Remember, anytime we're asking for healing and clearing of deeper layers, that clearing always comes through, I would say, usually comes through a challenge. The reason why a healing comes through a challenge is because we need to revisit the stuck energy from childhood, from subconscious, from past lifetimes. And by revisiting that stuck energy in our subconscious or our Akashic records, it sucks because it's not pleasant energy to sink into. And that's why we've avoided it this entire time. So just know that when you make a statement and you are ready to move forward, all right, just watch out, make sure that your space is clear and you're ready to tackle that energy and vibration. Good questions. All right, we've just got a couple more. Melody, my mother is bipolar. Without consciously realizing it, I have been drawn to artists with bipolar. My universe allowed me to experience bipolar mania after an acid trip, and it feels a lot like the fifth dimension. I'm also curious about split personality, as I am certain we can learn from these individual experiences. Can you channel and discuss major mental illnesses? I want to talk mostly about mania and manic. So just for those of you who aren't familiar, within bipolar, there's something called like manic and depressant. Manic is when your energy shoots through the roof. You're very talkative, you ramble, you're very excited, you're very impulsive, It's very intense, very extreme. And then depressant is obviously the exact opposite, can't get out of bed, feeling very low, all of those things. And bipolar is just regulating that. Now, I want to tell you something that I find really fascinating. Recently, in the past couple of months, I have observed friends, clients and their partners, just a weird amount of people who are all experiencing mania. So, Melody, when you're bringing up mania and being manic, right? And the fifth dimension, it's so wild that you're asking this question, because I have experienced it firsthand. Like, I want to just say that, like, with Natasha, she's been extremely manic and just on and off. And I've even thought to myself, okay, so you're Asperger's and ADHD, which are just diagnoses and labels and basically BS, but maybe you're bipolar and we don't know it, or what have you. And then my friend was also, I was talking to them about something very similar with their partner, and a couple of other people have all been experiencing these heightened levels of like really intense energetic states, and that's very overwhelming for me. But I want to actually tap into that. So I want to just like ask you guys, have you observed anyone in your life? Have you been in that state? Friends, family members, been in a heightened, almost manic state? Or maybe it's your children, right? I mean, obviously kids get like hyper or whatever, but there's a difference here. And in the past couple of months, I swear I have witnessed more mania than ever before. And I'm like, it's just so incredible that this question's coming up. So I want to just tap into that. Is mania associated with 5D vibration or crystalline energies? Because that's definitely that pure soul. And I'm just wondering if that's a connection. So let me just tap in 1 second. Oh. Interesting. Okay, here's what I got. Once again, like, I don't know how much I want to say like a diagnosis of bipolar, but I think naturally we all go through heightened states of like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then we dip into lower states of like, I can't get out of bed today. I think we all have minute expressions of bipolar, right? Now, here's what I received. People who swing energetically from high highs and low lows are unable to fully regulate their empathic connections. So what came up, especially in the past couple of months, is the spikes in the Schumann resonance will spike people who have an inability to create healthy boundaries in their energy field. They will spike into mania. And then all of a sudden, the Schumann resonance comes crashing down. Not that that's the only factor, but I mean, the world's a crazy place right now. And people are all over the place. Energies, emotions are all over the place. When energies dip all the way down and dip to a low point, these people who don't have good, healthy boundaries and energetic fields will also dip down with the collective of the planet. Now, what came up here with you, Melody, in particular, and with anyone else who has experienced parents with bipolar, you have a parent with bipolar, or potentially even like maybe a sibling with bipolar, or maybe it's not diagnosed. Maybe it's just you have a family member who has crazy high highs, crazy low lows. You have that in your life as a mirror reflection to say, I don't want to be out of control with my own vibration. Therefore, I choose to be more aware of where my energy is at and how affected I am being. Because I bet you anything, Melody, you are way more neutral than your mom is. And that's because you were able to witness her as a parent and say, this is overwhelming. I can't keep up with you and your energy highs and lows, and I'm going to learn how to regulate. Okay? Now, because we have people in our life that are more empathic or more sensitive or less boundary ridden, it can trigger people like me observing my wife in these crazy highs and lows by saying, hey, you got to get your shit together. You're all over the place, and you got to like kind of bring yourself back to a neutral place. And that will trigger me, which it shouldn't. I should just deal with that. That's my own thing. But it'll trigger me because I've learned how to regulate. So to observe her and not being able to regulate, it triggers me into saying, hey, you got to regulate yourself, right? Not that there should really be any better or worse. And I'm actually really enjoying and appreciating the trigger that comes up in me and the observation of her and her state and learning from that. Wow, this is what happens when you just let go, when you just float along. And that's pretty freeing. It's got its own amount of freedom, you know? So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. And then I just want one more thing. If like Mania is connected to 5D. Interesting. It's almost like it's all the levels. Like I see levels, and part of Mania, and I'm sure that we've all kind of felt that, like, you know, halfway through your day, you're listening to that song and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you're really high vibes and like whatever. But then if you go a little bit farther than that, you get really out of your body. And that's when you actually can get disconnected from 5D frequency, disconnected from the planet itself, disconnected from your body. Lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting are all a part of, even headaches are a part of being out of your body for too long. So really interesting. We'll touch upon other mental health things at another point, but I really wanted to talk about the manic depressant, the mania that I've been experiencing just in my own life and observing through others. Okay. I'm gonna end off with one more question. All right. Nicole, hi EA, could you please speak a bit about free will and making choices versus preordained contracts or predestined contracts? How can you tell when your choices are brought about by a certain result and when it was always contracted to happen? Hope you understand my question. All right, awesome. I do. I've battled with free will versus destiny all the time. It's actually a part of my book as well. And back in the day, I used to get so rebellious against my own destiny that I would make random choices at impulsive times just to mess with my predestined contracts, which is funny. Like, I find it really funny now. I've really sharpened my perspective of free will versus destiny. I used to really resist and even resent destiny in the past. And the reason why is because I was like, screw you, universe. You can't make decisions for me. You're not allowed to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Screw you, spirit guides, even though I love them. You're not going to tell me what I need to do and what not, and what have you, right? So nowadays, I realize and have fully come to this place where I know now that it is only us who write and create our contracts and blueprints for each incarnated lifetime. Okay, so all of your challenges, all of your successes are all pre-contracted. Most of the big things in your life are contracted. All of the little decisions like coffee or tea per day, not a big deal. That's not really pre-contracted. You have complete free will over how to fill in your life in between all of the big things, right? And I remember, going to a psychic when I was like, maybe like 17 or something. And she said, oh my goodness, like, I'm just looking at your blueprints. And she's like, you set out in this lifetime to do a lot. And she's like, you're probably not going to get it all done. And in my mind, I'm like, I have to get it all done because I don't want to come back here, right? So I definitely have a lot going on in my blueprints, and I feel that. It's been a very, very direct life so far. So what else did I want to say? Okay, so the funny thing is that you write your contracts, you write your blueprints. So you can override your contracts and your blueprint with your free will. You can absolutely do that. I don't recommend it though, because no one created those blueprints but you. You created your life contracts without an ego, without attachment, without limitations. You knew exactly what you needed to experience, what you needed to do, what you needed to suffer through, and what you needed to have successes within in order to learn your lessons, okay? So why spite yourself? Why go through all this effort just to override your own things that you took a lot of time and energy and love and care to create, right? So now I love my contracts, and sometimes I just kind of let the universe decide, and I try not to have too much of an ego or an opinion around the outcome of something in particular, because I know that contractually I'm going to end up where I need to go. So it's really the balance between trust and direction. You know, where do you want to go based on your intuition, your gut feeling, and where's the universe kind of giving you the signs and the messages to go? All right. Other than that, once again, some important dates. April 1st is going to be the actual book release, the physical book. It's still being approved by Amazon, so I'm hoping that it's going to be approved by April 1st. We'll see. Self-publishing is a lot of work. The ebook is available right now on Kindle. Please review me on Kindle, hopefully 5 stars if you like it. And if you actually buy the physical book, please review the book as well. And then if you want to listen to the meditations and do homework that's associated with each chapter, check out the book bundle, which you can find at the top of my link tree that I just posted in the little comments, the chat room. And so April 1st, book release. April 9th is the coaching call for all of my members. So if you're not a member and you want to get your information channeled, definitely sign up and be a member. I'll make sure I post the Zoom link to the community section, members only, today or tomorrow. So keep that in mind. And then April 11th, we're having the Galactic Federation Summit as well. So you can grab your tickets for that. I think it's available today. If not, it will for sure be available tomorrow. And that's it. Yeah, t-shirts and new malas being released on the 1st as well. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the love and the support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having an open mind and creating space and ascending. This is a very exciting time to be alive, and I am so excited to be here with all of you right now. Bye for now. I will see you next week. And actually, I'll see you on the 1st because I've got a live video happening on April 1st at 1:11 p.m. PST. I'm hoping that we're going to restream it to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're still working out the kinks, so there's a lot to do before then. Bye for now, everyone. Love you all so much.